Hello, thanks for joining me, astrologer Patrick Arundell, for your April monthly horoscope for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to our channel, we'd be delighted if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. If you've got some big things going on in your life and you'd like some expert guidance, why not check out my one-to-one testimonials by seeing the link below. It's one of the most enriching parts of my work, working in this way. If you'd like to ascend above your zodiac sign in an affordable way and find out more about what really makes you tick, please check out my personal horoscope reports. There's a special offer on a year's forecast and also a character analysis, 30% off. Please see the link below. Hello Libra, and welcome to your monthly horoscope for April. Your sign is very much about relating, and you're also a cardinal sign, so you can be very effective around the expression of ideas. And Mercury, the planet of communication, has in the previous 3 weeks preceding this month been in your sector of precision, but in a sign which is more about emotion, which is the sign of Pisces. So even though there may have been situations which required some crisp thinking or analysing details, some of the information that you received may have been a little bit skewed or not absolutely as clear as you would like. So the fact that Mercury arrives in your sector of relating on the 4th of this month to join up with the Sun and also your ruler Venus is a really lovely blend. And the 7th house energy isn't just about getting on with people, it's also about letting people know what our boundaries are. And of course, over the last few years, that's been a very important theme with Libran people, or if you have a Libra ascendant. Now, what I would say is that in the first 10 days of this month, Venus, your ruler, is forging a very evocative angle to Mars, the planet of drive, but also the planet of passion. And the planet of passion, Mars, for the first 3 weeks of this month, is in a very exciting part of your scope, an area which is about travel, expanding your horizons, being more spontaneous, but its link with Venus suggests that if you encounter someone in the first third of this month who really is quite a refreshing character, they may be someone who doesn't necessarily conform with the way that others do things in an automatic sense. There may be something quite individual about this person. They may have some very valuable ideas, and I think they're going to be very refreshing. And this can be an intellectual encounter, one that you really enjoy. So it could be meeting someone, if you're lucky enough to be able to do that physically, or it could be someone you connect with online, or it could well be in a romantic context. So if you're fortunate enough to have that spark of connection, it really can be a very lively and uplifting encounter. And with Mercury moving on the 4th, its ingress or change into the sign of Aries puts Mercury in a much better location, because Mercury is not at its best in Pisces. Here you can exchange information, hear other people's ideas, and the very best of your nature, where you can be very balanced but also very democratic in the way you discuss things with people. But there is a little bit of a catch, because Neptune, which has been pushing you to be very sacrificing since 2012, is in a right angle with Mars from the 4th through to the 14th. And this is a less helpful angle. It can compromise that need for freedom that Mars is bringing to your situation, because maybe people are going to be saying, oh yes, well, we need you to do this, or but you're so good at this, can't you do this for us, or can you work an extra shift please, because so and so. And someone could try to tap into your good nature, your goodwill, your genuine kindness, and you may find it difficult to say no, because you want to do the right thing, but just at a time when Mars is asking you to push back and show a lot more devilment and be much more of a free spirit. I can't tell you how that will work out for you, but I'm just telling you about the planetary influence so you know that some kind of conflicting energies are possible. Also, when Mars and Neptune are at a right angle, it can just take the edge off of our vitality. So important not to let anyone guilt trip you into going against what you need to do for you, the individual. But the thing is with Libra people, you can spend so much time people pleasing that it almost becomes the case that you lose your own identity. And I really feel that my job as an astrologer, especially with an astrologer with an ascendant in Libra, who has a tendency to do that myself, is to say, look, it is very important. And this is what Pluto and over the last couple of years, Saturn was saying, to sometimes say no, however difficult that may be. Which brings us to the new moon, which occurs on the 12th in Aries. And this provides a platform for the next 4 weeks for all sorts of relationships and connections to thrive. But if the balance of power is just so, because this is a new moon that does square with Pluto. And when we get Pluto in the mix, we can encounter people who will try to be coercive in order to get us to do what they want. But equally, it's important to be aware of our own power and that we're not expecting everyone to do what we want, only on our terms. But I don't think that's often an issue for yourself. But just be aware over the next month, relationships can flourish, but just with a consciousness about the need for your personal boundaries to be respected and for a sense of security all round. Now, in week 2, your ruler Venus also goes into a right angle with Pluto. Now, you may, and it could be with that character that you encounter with the Venus-Mars sextile, you may find that things are heating up. They're getting, much more steamier between you and this person that you really like. And it could be very, very hard to resist. Whether you really like someone or whether a job that's offered is the one you really want or it's the money that's so tempting is another matter. Because, again, when Pluto's in the mix, temptation can be used, but through the guise of Venus, it can be done in a very charming way. So it's less obvious that someone may in some way be almost conniving to get something from us. So that's the negative side of it. The positive side of it is you just could encounter someone that you just really find irresistible, and you may decide to go for it and just live in the moment. And why not, if that's what you choose? Now, in week 2 and 3, we do have a glorious alliance between the Sun and Mars. So Mars, which is pushing you to be more daring, and the Sun's in your sector of relating. If you have a connection with someone, or you're in a relationship where you're good at sharing the decision making, or you spur each other on, or there's part of each of you that likes to dare the other to just go a bit more out of their comfort zone, something really thrilling can take place across that week 2 and week 3. Maybe it's going to, if you're fortunate enough wherever you're living, to go off on some kind of journey. If you can do that, I think it really can be great fun and very exciting. Now, on the 14th, your ruler Venus moves out of your sector of relating and into the 8th house. The 8th house is hot. This is where things get truly steamy, but it also can be where you benefit financially from your involvement with other people. That could be a romantic partner, it could be through some kind of legacy, it could be through a business relationship, but fortune can call out to you in the last 2 weeks of this month, but particularly if you're very open-minded, because on the 19th the Sun and Mercury move to join up with Venus and Uranus in your 8th solar house. And this is all about where we're most invested, where we're most passionate, but it can also be about evolution, sometimes revolution in our lives. It's where things can make way. So sometimes the 8th house can be where we decide to call a day on something, whether it's a business venture, whether it's a relationship, whether we decide to arise from the ashes and recreate ourselves in some kind of new way. So very Phoenix-like. And also on the 23rd, Mars moves right to the top of your horoscope into the sign of Cancer. Technically, Mars doesn't like being in Cancer, but for you, this helps you to demonstrate your power, authority, and your natural cardinality. So this can see you taking more responsibility, being more goal-orientated, and seizing the moment. If you're thinking about property or you're involved in a property transaction, things can just absolutely power forwards really quickly as this month draws to a close. It can be really thrilling and exciting, but you may have to make some quick or snap decisions. If you're someone, and it's a typical Libran archetype who likes to really think things over to the point that sometimes you find it difficult to actually make a decision, I think by the time of the full moon, which occurs on the 27th, you're really being pushed to go for it. But this can bring money in, but it could see some money go out. But also you can be very innovative. And if you've had a business idea that's been developing and have felt a bit unsure about whether to go for it or not, you may suddenly just think, no, this is what I want to do. And it can be very dramatic. If you're single, don't be surprised if in this last 10 days of the month that you have a very charismatic connection to someone. Maybe it is just going to be a night of passion. It really will make your pulse race. When Uranus is in the mix, drama is almost certain to unfold. But if you're in a relationship where you feel very controlled, the Uranian influence could see you push back and stage your own revolution and decide enough's enough. You need to free yourself, especially if you feel someone's too possessive and stops you from really being the free spirit you need to be. And I think Mars climbing to the top of your horoscope really will give you the power to assert absolutely what you want. So, do you know, it's very sexy. I think a lot of the last few years have seen you a bit conflicted, trying to not keep everyone happy, but finding it difficult to fit all the circumstances that are being demanded of you. You know, whether it's from your children, from your parents, from a lover, from work, from where you live, how you live there, and who with. And I think this month either gives you the opportunity to make a relationship really exciting and relevant and working and giving you that sense of feeling alive, or you're going to seek to break free, or you're going to seek to commit. It's the two extremes, but that is going to make life very vital, and I think it's really going to make you feel very alive. And one way or another, the stakes may be high, but it is not going to be boring. Stay safe, take care, goodbye.